Hello and welcome to video 13. This is me learning how to use the AKAI MPC Live 3 and passing on to you all my tips and tricks as I do so. And today I'm going to concentrate on one thing, and that is the grid view. You can see in red it's written here, grid, and if you want to get to it you hold shift and grid, or you can just double tap that edit button like that, or you can go to the menu, first page, grid view, and there we are. So what does the grid view do? Well, it lets you look at and edit any notes you've inputted via MIDI or audio regions of each track, and you can see their velocities. And there's three versions of this page. There's one for audio tracks, there's one for drum tracks, there's one that takes care of all the Keygroup tracks, MIDI tracks and plugin tracks. Now it doesn't tell us here what page we're on. So if I go back to main, I can see I'm on the drum page. So if I change this to the synth bass and double tap, now this is showing me the notes that I recorded with the synth bass, but it doesn't actually say synth bass here anywhere as far as I can see. So yeah, you have to remember what you're dealing with. Let's go to the arrange page, and you will see that this has got synth bass highlighted in this kind of lilac colour. You can see these notes. This is highlighted here. And if I go back to the grid page, that's what's here, you see? So it's taking that track out of the arrange page and kind of soloing it view-wise so you can see what you've inputted. So these are all the notes. If I go to the main page for a moment and solo this, now I'll go back to the grid page and I'll play this. These are the notes that I recorded on the synth bass, and you can see the various strips, and obviously the longer the strip, the longer the note lasts for. So notes in red are high velocity, notes in orange are kind of medium velocity, notes in yellow are low velocity, so low volume if you like. By default on this track, if I rotate the third Q link, this changes the loop start, see? And Q-Link encoder 4, this changes the loop length. See, I can bring it down to 1 bar. The double arrows here change where the position is, the kind of play position, the song pointer if you like. The double arrows do it in 1 bar at a time, and the single arrows do it in 1/4 of a beat at a time. Okay, so that's how you sort of find your way around the 4 bars that I've recorded here for this synth bass in this grid view. This grid view is for Keygroup tracks, MIDI tracks, plugin tracks. So this is the synth bass, which is a plugin, so this is that view. We'll deal with the other 2 views as we go through it. So let's look along the top of the page first of all, look around. We've got our links to our other pages, the arrange page, we're on the grid page, that's why it's in red, the clip matrix, the list view, all these I'm going to deal with of course in time. Then to the right of these we can see the pencil, this is for drawing notes in, so if I press that and it's highlighted, press anywhere on here, it's going to draw notes in. I'm just going to undo those 3 by pressing the undo button 3 times. So that's for drawing in. Let's draw a couple more in. The eraser button here is for rubbing those out, erasing them. I have to say that I'm finding things aren't working as well as I expected when I'm using my finger. You'll probably see that in the course of this video, but that's what the eraser does. It literally erases notes from the screen there, from the pattern if you like. This marquee, this dotted square, is for selecting notes. If I just press on a note here, you may be able to see it's got a white border now. I'm going to press elsewhere to get rid of that. Now keep your eye on the keyboard on the left as I do that again. See, it was kind of a second attempt. Again, watch the keyboard. And it came up there, and I can play it there as well. Now notice, playing that keyboard there, notice how all those G notes that I played were all highlighted. So you can see the note that you're selecting there on the virtual keyboard. You can select single notes like this one, see? Or you can drag your finger around several notes and they're all selected. So all those notes are selected now. For editing, press on an empty space to deselect them. I'm going to show you this, you have to watch very carefully. If I press on a note, it will sound and be played by the virtual keyboard. You will see the name and the pitch of the note when you play it, and also the position and duration. Keep your eye on it. I'm going to press this note here. Probably my finger's in the way, but I can't do much about that. Right, so if you press down and keep pressing, as long as you keep pressing, you get the information. And I moved the note down there, didn't mean to do that. Try that again. You can see that's a G2, it's at 2/2/48. And then I can move it around as well, do you see? So you can see the note, you can see the information, but you've got to keep your finger on the note. Hopefully you can see that behind my finger, it's a bit hard to see, I know. I've got my keyboard plugged in, but to hear the note I've got to go to the main page, and under in and out I've got to make sure monitor is set to in. Now when I play notes on my keyboard, which is just out of shot here, they're coming up. You can see the dotted lines are over here. If you watch, that's showing us MIDI coming in, and obviously the solid thick lines there, that's the actual audio. Notice how if I play the G, which is all these G's here, you'll notice it shows on the virtual keyboard, and also you can see these two pads are lighting up because it's that note there. So all these notes on this row are A. You see they're lighting up here. Now the octave is set very high here, isn't it? But you can see that these are all A's. I can probably drop the octave. Now, I've set the pads so they're the same by using the A button. So when I play this A on my MIDI keyboard, we know it's this note here, that's lighting up green, and these are also A's as well. This magnifying glass is our next item, and with this we can pinch and zoom, make things really big, and you can see how the virtual keyboard moves up and down in size as well. You can go that way, you can go that way. So that is very good. It's a great way of getting in tight on something you want to edit. Now, if you get a bit lost with your zooming, if you press this button here with the pads and the magnifying glasses, it takes you back to the default setting. Let's keep looking around here. We've got the bars, beats and ticks. If I press this edit pencil here, it takes me to arrangement edit page where you can clear things, play things half speed, double speed. I won't change that for the moment. And the cog, you can change the snap mode, the auto scroll, the cue link, playhead, increment, but again, not going to change that. More rabbit holes to go down that I don't want to. Obviously, this is the kind of ruler along the top where you can see the bars and the beats. So we've shown you everything on the page. Now we need to move to the lower part of the page. Now if I press this disclosure arrow, now you can see it's brought up all these columns which are showing the velocities for the various notes. So if I go back to the marquee and press on this note here, now this bar here has got a grey line on it, so I know I can change things with the data dial, but be careful because at the moment it's on nudge, which means it's going to move left and right. See? Just undo that, make sure it's in the right place. Now I'm on velocity, that's fine. If I click automation, now I can change the velocity of that note with the data dial. Otherwise it will change what's on here. So the nudge is the left and right position, edit start, obviously it's going to change where it starts. Edit end, where it ends, or you can make it shorter, longer. Transpose will obviously change the note in semitones. Just got to be a bit careful what you're doing here, because if you start cranking away with the data dial and you're on the wrong setting here, you might get into trouble. Now this is set to velocity, but there are other things you can change. Probability, so how often the note will sound, the ratchet of the note, the aftertouch, and lots of other MIDI things there. So lots of things you can change there. And obviously if you want to get rid of this, just press that arrow again. It's facing up there, facing down. You can see how you make it disappear very easily. And obviously the default is velocity, but you can change that, like I say, to other settings. I always think that the Live 3 is a bit like a huge mansion with loads of rooms, and lots of those rooms have sub-rooms, and I don't want to go into those sub-rooms too much. Just want to show you the basic information on this grid page today. If I want to, I can just grab hold of one of these and do it with my finger without pressing the automation. See, so I'm on velocity there, I can do that. But if you want to use the data dial, you need to press automation and then you can do it. And as you can see, as I drag up, it turns red, drag down, and it's on yellow. So yellow is low velocity, red is high velocity. It takes a while to change it. Drag it down, it's still on red, and then you let go and it changes to the colour that is correct for the amount of velocity. Now if don't snap is selected here, okay, then things happen in tiny amounts. So if I select this note here and I go to nudge and I turn the data dial, you can see it moves in tiny amounts. It's not snapping. If I turn that off, it will snap. So don't snap means it's going to go in tiny amounts. Over here there's a black tick and a white circle. If I press that, that takes me to the time incorrect or quantized page. Close that. If I press the follow cue links, with this lit, what happens is it automatically updates the current automation parameter to the selected cue link parameter. I haven't got anything set here with the cue link, so that's not going to do anything, but that's what that's for. It will make the cue link kind of override what you're doing. There's a secondary menu for this lowest part of the page. You can see if you hold shift, now it's changed to select all, cut, copy, paste, delete, duplicate. So select all does exactly what you expect. Just press to get rid of that. Cut is going to cut anything I've selected. So if I select that note there and press this and then press that, it's cut that note out. Copy is going to copy that note I've selected. So you can cut notes out, you can copy them, you can paste them, you can delete them, and you can duplicate them. So if I select that note there and I go to duplicate, it's appeared over there, it's jumped there to exactly the same space in that bar as it was in this bar, so it's duplicated its position but in the next available bar. And you can experiment with these and try them out for yourself, but that's that secondary set of tools down there that you can use. Now if you want to record in this view, there's no record arm here, so you would need to go to the main page and then press the record arm, come back here, and now you'd be able to record. So if I wanted to play some notes into this grid, I'll just do a quick record. You'll see notes coming in here. Playing on my MIDI keyboard. And I've recorded those notes in. It's not terribly intuitive, I have to say. See, I'm trying to find those notes that I've recorded. There they are. They are there. I'm just going to undo that. Okay, let's show you a different view now. So let's go to the drum track. So we're on the drum track here, so if I double tap grid, now this is the grid view for a drum track. How is it different? Well, over here it's got these drum pads. I'm on the magnifying glass, I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to move down here, get this as big as I can. It's not still very small, but you'll get the idea. Now you can see I've used 3 pads. It's incredibly tiny this, but this is pad A01, pad 2, pad 3. See they're lighting up here. So pad 1 has got the kick drum, pad 2 has got the snare, and pad 3 has got the hi-hat. So it's saying A01, A02, A03, and it goes all the way up to H16. So the drum track page is different. The don't snap, nudge, edit, start, edit, end, transpose, automation, that's the same as the last view I showed you. That was for the Keygroup tracks, MIDI tracks, plug-in tracks. You've got these columns for the sample name, whether or not the pad has been muted or soloed in the pad mixer section of the MPC3. So if I go to menu, pad mixer, so if anything was muted or soloed, if I solo that and go back to this grid page, you'll see probably tiny blue block there, that's been soloed. If I hold shift, select all, cut, copy, paste, delete, duplicate, that's the same also as the view for the Keygroup tracks, MIDI tracks and plugin. Let's show you another view for the grid edit now. So let's go back to the main menu. Let's jump to our vocal, my OO recording here. This is an audio track. Double tap the grid, so it looks very different because we've got the audio set here. Actually, let's just solo this, shall we? There we go. So this is just the OO. Okay, so it looks very different here, doesn't it? You've got don't snap, nudge, edit, start, edit, end. You've got split and duplicate. So split and duplicate, that's different to the other views. And if I hold the shift down, we've got time correct, cut, copy, paste, clear, auto, solo. So a few different settings there. You've got some more tools up here. You've got the marquee tool, you've got the select tool, you've got a pencil, erase, you've got scissors for cutting the audio up. You've got a mute for muting certain areas once you've cut them, or you can mute the whole thing. You've got the magnifying glass for zooming. You can only zoom that way, I think. Yeah. You can change the name of the audio like that, there. You can reverse the sample. You can mute it, and you can mute a certain area. Yeah, like that. So if you split this up, you can mute that section there. And warp is all to do with how you play the thing back in terms of the speed versus the pitch. So if I press that, these controls come up here. I don't want to get too deep into that, but that's what that's for. Yeah, it's a different view because obviously this is a very different type of recording. I just wanted you to see the 3 main views of this grid page, and yeah, you can do quite a lot on it. But the nice thing about it, of course, is that, just go back to the synth bass, it shows just the notes in the synth bass that are in the arrangement. So if I just open this out a bit more, so this synth bass is in lilac, but it's in amongst all those other tracks, you see. But if I go to the grid edit, obviously the colours are different because you're seeing the velocities, but that's only the synth bass, whereas with the arranged view it's the synth bass and all the other tracks, and it's quite hard to see. So there we are, pretty long video. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to give me a bit of a helping hand financially here on YouTube, please make a donation either here on YouTube or via my website, which is www.daddylongles.com. Thank you for watching today, and I'm sure you'll hear from me very soon. Bye now.